Hey, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages, it's that time once again. It's time for Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is 6 p.m. Central Daylight Time on May 11th, 2024. And hopefully, you'll find this show interesting. We're going to start out the show as we always do. Anyone who comes in and says hello in the chat gets a toast. Gonna give you a shout out with the whiskey. I'll show your message on screen. And so feel free to jump in and join us. Oops. Oops. Let me go ahead and turn that down. Okay, I totally messed up my levels now. Hope check 1 2. I fucked up. I hit the wrong button. All right. We got Basil Hayden's bourbon here today. Drink a little whiskey. Okay, so over on YouTube, we have a viewer that chatted in. We have Shut Up I Can Cook. Notice that I've been doing the countdown before the show. You know what? That's not much whiskey, but that's okay. We'll see. We'll see how many people come in and say hello. I might need a second pour. Cheers. Wonderful seeing you as always, Cookie. Not sure if we got anybody else out there just yet. I'm wondering if the notification went out on Rumble. I'm seeing my own video. Don't know. Could just be one of those weird days where I don't get much of a an audience here. Let's do this. Let's try advertising in one place that I didn't properly advertise. Oh, and of course I did that wrong. Sorry. Gonna make a little bit of sausage on stream here. But yeah, we have an interesting there we go. Let's try that. There we go. Oh, hey, yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Something's going on because I'm not seeing the chats. Okay, there it is. The chats are popping up now. Okay, cool. All right, now we got it going on. All right, let me make it to where I'm not hearing an echo. Hopefully, you guys didn't hear that. We got Sanglan86 over on Rumble. Rumble loading a flashing screen instead of a video is getting old. All right, well, cheers to that. And then also over on Rumble, we've got Tim Pool's Gay Music with some music and chickens. Yeah. He plays guitar to the chickens. Maybe we'll be playing guitar at some point. Oh, I just noticed I posted the link over in Ricada's chat at the same time as Sanglant. Thank you for doing that, Sanglant. Okay, so that's that. Let's get into the topics of today. Usually, the way we like to do it is I kind of start off with a bunch of articles and then go to videos and then go to the feature segment and then on into the other stuff. Today we're going to be kind of flip-flopping back and forth between articles and videos. First off, I want to cover a few stories we've talked about before here. We've had some updates in a few of these stories, and so I wanted to just kind of make sure everybody was up to speed on these things. First off, we have the Pentagon announcing yet another $400 million military aid package for Ukraine. Now, this was part of the $60 billion that Congress had already approved. And so this is the third bundle of aid This includes munitions for Patriot air defense systems, advanced surface to air missile systems, Stinger aircraft missiles, high mobility artillery rocket systems and ammunition, howitzer artillery rounds, high speed anti radiation missiles, Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, M113 armored personnel carriers, and mine resistant ambush protected MRAP vehicles, among other equipment. Secretary of State Blinken described the firepower heading Kiev's way as significant and urgently needed as Russian forces made a renewed bid to capture Kharkiv. As President Biden has made clear, the United States and the international coalition will continue to stand with Ukraine in its defense of freedom, Blinken said in a statement. The package also includes coastal and riverline patrol boats, trailers, TOW and Javelin missiles, AT-4 anti-armor systems, precision aerial munitions and demolitions munitions, and ammunition for small arms, grenades, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear protective equipment and spare parts. Weapons are being sent through the president's drawdown authority, which pulls from, of course, our own country's stockpiles. Yes, I agree, Temple's gay music. This is anger inducing. This is the 57th shipment of military equipment being provided to Ukraine from DoD inventories since August of 2021. This is exactly what we need. Thank you, Zelensky said of the new aid package in his daily address. Zelensky indicated that Russian troops are in the process of expanding their operations in Kharkiv and has directed more manpower to the region as a result. White House believes, blah, 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 that'll keep Putin from making significant gains for at least the rest of the year. So let's pin that one back, right? The White House thinks this is going to hold Russia off until 2025. Guaranteed in 3 months we're going to be hearing about this again. It's possible that Russia will make further advances in the coming weeks, but we do not anticipate any major breakthroughs. And over time, the influx of U.S. assistance will enable Ukraine to withstand these attacks over the course of 2024. The U.S. has provided Ukraine roughly $50.6 billion in military aid since Russia's February 2022 invasion. Now, how much was that old Pocahontas said we could end world hunger for when she was tweeting out at Elon Musk? Yeah. Okay. We now have the new communist Minnesota flag. The new Muslim Minnesota flag is now flying atop the Capitol. So we have that. I'm going to go ahead and keep moving here. We're not going to necessarily read. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. We have the Department of Justice after David DePape was found guilty in his attack on Paul Pelosi. You might remember this is the Where's Nancy? This is the Where's Nancy attacker who showed up in his underwear to Paul Pelosi's house, seeking a terrorism enhancement to bump up the assailant's time behind bars. DOJ's pushing a 40-year prison sentence. U.S. attorneys arguing that the U.S. District Court for Northern District of California should override the 25-year jail term recommended by the Federal Probation Office, even though DePape was not convicted of any terrorism charges. The violent lesson that the defendant wanted to teach are not permitted in this country, U.S. Attorney Ismail J. Ramsey wrote in his sentencing memorandum. So again, they're still trying to pass this off as he was a right-wing extremist. That's why they're adding the terrorism charge. He was never my target, and I'm sorry he got hurt, DePape said. He took the stand during his week-long trial. Yeah, that was a few months back. He faces federal sentencing on May 17th, after which he will stand trial on state charges of attempted murder and assault with a deadly weapon. Okay, so Nancy and Paul got a little bit of justice there. You know, millions of Americans don't really get justice when their loved ones are attacked, but, Nancy and Paul sure got their justice. Okay, and then let's check this out from the AP. America's debt tops $34 trillion, but a commission to address it appears dead in Congress. For Mike Johnson, it was allegedly a day one priority. It's well past time, the newly elected House Speaker said in October, to establish a bipartisan commission to tackle the federal government's growing $34.6 trillion in debt. The consequences if we don't act now are unbearable, he said, echoing warnings from his predecessor, another House Republican. More than 6 months later, the proposal appears all but dead, extinguished by vocal opposition from both the right and the left. Yeah, blame everyone but the Speaker of the House there, right? The collapse underscores an unyielding dynamic in Washington, with lawmakers in both parties loath to consider unpopular trade-offs that would be necessary to stem the nation's swelling tide of red ink, particularly in an election year. Facing the reality that any fiscal commission would almost certainly suggest that Americans pay more or get less from their government, lawmakers have time and time again done what they do so well: pump the problem to the next Congress, and they seem poised to do so again. Well, maybe if you weren't sending $40 billion a month to Ukraine. Jesus. I'm disappointed we haven't gotten as much momentum as I thought we would, said Representative Jody Arrington, Republican chairman of House Budget Committee. The speaker supported it, endorsed it from the outset, but I think there are some outside groups that have weighed in that have said this is a backdoor way to raise taxes, and it scared some Republican colleagues. Joe Manchin, sponsor of the debt commission bill in the Senate, was even more pessimistic. No one seems to care. It's a shame. $34.6 trillion in debt and no one cares about it. Modeled after previous efforts, it would have created a 16-member panel to recommend steps that could be taken to balance the federal budget at the earliest reasonable date and improve the long-term fiscal health of Medicare and Social Security. The commission would have 16 members, 12 from Congress, evenly divided by party, and 4 outside experts without voting power. The GOP-controlled Budget Committee advanced the bill in a 22-12 vote. All right, we're not going to read this whole thing, but you get the gist. You get the gist. Republicans don't really fulfill the promises they make to their constituents. Oh my God, I don't have my light on. There we go. Bing. Gotta have the bat signal on when doing a show here. All right. Now over to NPR. Here's a news story for you. A Virginia county board votes to restore Confederates' names to schools. The Shenandoah County School Board in Virginia will restore the names of Confederate generals Thomas Stonewall Jackson, Robert E. Lee, and Turner Ashby to 2 local schools. The controversial reversal comes nearly 4 years after the names were changed. Mountain View High School will revert to its former name, Stonewall Jackson High School, and Honey Run Elementary School will go back to being Ashby Lee Elementary School. The board approved the change by a 5-1 vote, with supporters saying the Confederate figures' names have been taken off the schools in 2020 in a knee-jerk reaction to protests of George Floyd's murder by police. Opponents, including some current students, warned the board that the Confederate names would brand the schools and their county as a haven for backward, racist thinking. The debate over changing the name began last month as a member station, WMRA, reports. So I guess that's a NPR station. It was the second attempt to restore the names after a failed try in 2022. At the contentious and lengthy meeting saw advocates from both sides drew raucous cheers and ovations from their supporters. Public session started around 7 p.m. Thursday and stretched into early hours of Friday. Yes, Sangland 86. Never let the DNC forget their crimes. A handful of students attended the meeting. School board minutes from 1959 reveal that the decision to name our school after Stonewall Jackson was a product of massive resistance, said student Priya Dua, referring to an era when Virginia's leaders were aggressively fighting the attempts to racially integrate the state's schools. Like some of the other students who spoke, she attends Okay. Her curriculum at the Massanutten Regional Governor's School, a program that draws students from other school systems. I acknowledge that the community has been left divided and unhappy over the initial name change. By taking this step backward in 2024, what foot are we going to put forward? What legacy are you leaving behind for my generation to inherit? Okay. Yeah. NPR's given voice to children now. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. Hang on. Let's come down here. Several board members who supported, because, yeah, I'm not going to read all that. Let's read what the board had to say here. Supported reverting the names back to their Confederate eponyms, said that in the debate over the legacy of slavery and racism, critics have seemingly ignored school buildings that still bear the names of historical figures who once enslaved people, including the namesake of Peter Muhlenberg Middle School, where Thursday's meeting convened. I think all of this was politically driven, board member Michael Rickard said. Rickard held up a stack of what he said were around 260 emails. I had 118 of you vote to keep the names the way they are, but I had 144 of you ask to restore the names. Kyle Gutschall, the board's vice chairman, who also attends James Madison University, was the only member to vote against restoring the Confederate names. Oh, okay, so someone in University was the only opponent here. Small win, but still a win, says Temple's Game Music. The naming question, he said, is clearly a very difficult and divisive matter we've been on now for 2 to 4 years. Things like this really come down to perspective and how you view things. 2 years ago, when I voted to change the name back, the outcome and the feedback I received was quite different, Gutschall said. But he added, as time goes on, it seems some of his constituents no longer care as strongly about the issue. Ultimately, for me, it's a very tough decision, he said, describing efforts to get public feedback. While he's had his own beliefs in the matter, Gutschall said that his district has been overwhelmingly in support of retaining the names the way they are. Okay, so yeah, clearly left-wingers got interviewed first, as always, in the mainstream media. All right, so that's going to be our main news for the day. You know, there's obviously, all the viral stuff I usually don't cover. The Stormy Daniels stuff, not really planning on covering it. You can get that news in 150,000 places here on Rumble or on YouTube, wherever you're at. Okay, let me do this. Let me drag this over and cover this first. Okay, so here's the thing. I have been the subject of some conversations, and it got me noticing things, and not as in like hashtag Jewish APAC kind of noticing. I'm talking about libertarianism. Now, I've covered my own personal philosophical libertarian beliefs, and there's the old saying goes, nobody hates a libertarian like another libertarian. That Fanny also needs airing out. I'm assuming you mean Stormy Daniels. So I've been hearing a lot more ridiculing of libertarians as of late. And in fact, I had someone click on my bio on Twitter, and they saw the word libertarian and just decided to attack a straw man version of what they thought a libertarian was for like 9 straight posts. And I'm just like, cool story, bro. And then he kept at it. And I, of course, I kept owning him back, so to speak. Again, my apologies if you follow me on Twitter. I sometimes get into these little spats because I love owning these people. But it really got me thinking about, quote unquote, what it means to be a libertarian. I've been following some of the debate between, Tim Pool, Ian Crossland, and then Clint Russell and Luke Radowski. They're all kind of friends in that little circle, but Clint and Luke are obviously not Republicans and not super into the the big boy politics, so to speak. And it got me thinking about this. And so, we've had this news story for a while now. Let's bring this up. So this is on Twitter here. So we've had these rumblings that Donald Trump and RFK Jr. and maybe even Vivek Ramaswamy are going to potentially speak at the Libertarian Convention this year. And so I saw this post today from Being Libertarian on Twitter. If you don't support the Libertarian Party allowing Trump, Bobby Kennedy Jr., and Vivek to speak at their convention, what would you do differently to gain exposure for the Libertarian Party? And it really got me thinking about, well, what is the Libertarian Party? Other than, you know, what every third party is, right? Is, the back of the pack, so to speak. If you're talking about a race car race, by the way, shout out to Camelot 331. I think he was racing Nashville this week. I'm not quite sure how he's done. I hadn't had time to look at that yet, but shout out to Camelot 331. You have your cars on the lead lap, and then you have your cars that are like 9 laps down. That's the Libertarian Party. And while definitely there are people within the Libertarian Party who try to promote freedom, the Libertarian Party itself, the idea of an established party, the idea of party politics. Now, granted, I support this breaking away from party politics to reach, quote unquote, across the aisle to other parties to bring in people with ideas, bring in people who may have somewhat of a freedom agenda, even if it doesn't 100% align with what a lot of libertarians believe libertarianism is. I definitely have my own criticisms of Trump and Bobby Kennedy and Vivek Ramaswamy. I have disagreements with all three of them. I don't necessarily think any of them are the most ideal scenario, but that's just it. We're all just individuals, and if we could just craft the perfect candidate and just auto install them into the White House, we would be gods, right? We got Cookie over here giving me a weird little thumbs up guy emoji. I don't know. Or is that the thinker emoji? It looks weird on StreamYard. I think that's the thinker emoji. And don't get me wrong, the Libertarian Party and a lot of libertarians have the fucking wrong idea, right? We get blamed for utopianism, right? And there are a lot of libertarians who want to put the cart before the horse, right? They want to talk about the utopia where government is just out of your life entirely. Temple's Game Music said, I just puked a little, Sanklint. Assuming that's about the fanny airing out. All right. So yeah, utopianism happens, and we libertarians, we're not clear about the steps to get there. We always talk about, well, just get government out of it, get government out of it. And we never talk about lessening government's influence now, the steps we can take now with the crooked Congress we have now, with the Congress who refuses to talk about bringing down our debt, with a Congress who continues to vote $40 billion to Ukraine. The ways to make little bitty edges and little bitty wins into these people, ways to change the narrative. And so my thought on this Twitter post that I was just showing you folks. We got Shut Up I Can Cook over on YouTube says Tim Pool's gay music name is hilarious. I agree. Cheers. Yeah, Tim Pool has yet to release a song that I can actually listen to for more than 30 seconds. Tim Pool's gay music says government is asshole. Donald Trump don't trust government. Government is asshole. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this idea that the Libertarian Party needs exposure. I would tend to disagree. I don't think the Libertarian Party lacks exposure. Everyone knows it exists. The problem is platform, detailed plans. I think the problem with the Libertarian Party is it's the same problem breast cancer has, right? Everyone knows the pink ribbons exist, right? But how much of that money actually goes to curing the fucking breast cancer? How much attention actually goes to marketing versus actually solving the fucking problems? And I think as much time as people in the Libertarian Party spend trying to make the Libertarian Party a legitimate political party, I think instead they could just be promoting liberty. Liberty, bibbity. And while I am one of the first people you will talk to that will say we need more third parties. We need more third party status. We need to be voting third party as much as possible in whichever races we can. I also don't think putting our backing into political parties, whether it's the Republican Party, the Libertarian Party, the Constitution Party, or whatever other conservative parties, is going to promote liberty and conservative agendas. Exercising our rights is the only thing that's going to do that. Period. So again, from the AP, one more here from the AP. On a related note, I just wanted to read the headline here. So there's been some buzz that Barron Trump was trying to become a Republican Florida delegate to the Republican convention, and apparently that's not going to happen. He did not win the vote. Oh wait, yeah, he did. He declines to participate due to prior commitments, Melania Trump's office said. Okay. All right. So yeah, he was nominated by the Florida Republican Party and ultimately won the seat and has declined. All right, let's go ahead and bring that down. All right, let's get into bad behavior of women. First off, let's do crackers and cheese. Why don't we? You guys ready for some crackers and cheese? Yeah, we usually try to keep this segment for Wednesdays, but we'll do one on Saturday this time. Okay, so here's a video that I ran across from dudes posting their W's on Twitter. And that is okay. So we're going to talk about relationships here for a few minutes. And so people want to know, is this the kind of wife you want? Comes into the driveway. And every single day he gives her a big hug, wraps his arms around her, is so happy to see her. She's so happy to see him. And it just continues day after day after day. Oh, look, it got dark before he got home this time, and she was still waiting on him. It's so cheesy. It's so cheesy, but we need to understand, look, this is, oh, look, he was just going to give her a kiss on the head and walk on by, but she got up anyway. I don't find either of these people, I don't relate to them very well. Sanglen says, we allowed the media to reframe the American roadmap and the commies on the left and fascists on the right, and the American version of state control on the left and anarchy on the right. Sorry about the formatting. Yeah, definitely. The extremists have taken control and normalized themselves. And now this is extreme. This here is extreme. right? The simple fact of just being partners with a person and actually loving them, right? Having a normal life, being normal is now extreme. Okay, let's revisit the bear topic.
I recently came across a video, and the woman was practically like, would you rather be stuck in the woods with a bear or a man?
Sorry, it's as
And the
loud as
woman
it'll go.
said a bear wouldn't drug me, and a bear wouldn't call his friends over afterwards. And I'm not trying to like say that that isn't crappy. Of course, it's a crappy
A
situation.
bear wouldn't call his friends over afterwards. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
And shame on that man for doing it. But you know what
And actually, a bear would. A bear would call his friends over. Like, if a bear didn't completely devour you, like, the bear would feed its family.
bear would do? A bear would absolutely 110%, if especially around its babies or if it's just hungry, kill you. A bear will literally kill you. You know, being drugged would
So
be the least of your worries in that
this
situation
young
because a
lady,
bear would
I'm not sure
literally,
how old
quite
she is. She looks
literally,
like she's like
maul your face
17.
off. A human man that isn't Jeffrey Dahmer wouldn't do that to you.
Okay, so there's the key. There's the key right there. And I just kind of posted about this on Twitter yesterday of the problem with the bear analogy. And it's something I kind of touched on when I did my whole fucking show about the bear analogy. But one of the problems with the bear analogy is that men are not human. Men are not men. Your average man is not a man in the eyes of a woman. 90% of women do not see that 90% of men even exist. Right? They see the hot felon, they see the alpha chad, or they see the creepy stalker. And those are the only three guys she even notices. Like maybe the beta orbiter a little bit, but that guy and the stalker might as well be the same guy. Right? Where's my Here's my HOMATH chart. Right? You got the bad boys over here. Everything above this line. So situationship and the Prince Charming, and then you got the friend zone. And then yeah, the creep zone. Most guys are in this the settling mistake, not people. Yeah, they don't even notice you. This is the problem with the bear question. Is when women think about the bear, they don't think about the plumber. They don't think about the construction worker. They think about the guys they got fucking drunk with at a party or their ex-boyfriend who beat the fuck out of them. Yeah, Cookie says hot felon. Yeah. This is kind of the one of the tropes is that, women are attracted to bad boys, right? If he's got tattoos and, you know, a few felonies under his belt, there's something dangerous and hot about him. And so when women are like, if I encounter one of these guys in the woods, whether it's the hot felon or the ex-boyfriend who beat the fuck out of her, or the creepy guy, the beta orbiter who started stalking her, those are the only three guys she can think of in the moment in her head. She doesn't think about the cable guy. She doesn't think about the construction worker. She doesn't think about the barista down the street. Those aren't men. Those are NPCs in her first person game, right? They might as well be just the people walking down the street in GTA. They don't exist. They're background noise in her game. Try not to roll over that poster. I need to put it up. Cookie said I was muted and then said never mind, not muted. And then we got Temple's Gay Music asking if that's Cookie over in Ricada's chat. I don't know. I can't actually see Ricada's chat right now. I had to open it in a different browser. Locals isn't working great for me. And in fact, shout out to Nick Ricada. I canceled my Ricada subscription like a month and a half ago, and somehow I still have access. I'm gonna re-up. Cookie says she's not in Nick's chat. Okay. So anyway, let's finish listening to what this lady has to say. Sorry, I had to go on another bear rant.
And a lot of women are like, I made a comment on that, and a lot of women were like, oh, you're just delusional. If you think that a man wouldn't do that to you, stay delusional. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I mean, unknowingly, I don't think I really bumped shoulders with any rapists or serial killers. I guess I wouldn't know. But what type of people are you surrounding yourself with if you really think most of the population
she said the
is
same
like
thing I
that?
said.
Also, how does it feel to be so hateful towards a group of people just because of what's between their legs and on their chest? That is stupid. That is sexist. That really is. This is the worst
And yet many
sexism
of the same women
that
would invite them
I
into
can
their
say
locker
I've ever been
rooms.
able to see, honestly. And I see a lot more videos that are kind of around the same nature where I watched
I
one
think
where
they're kind of,
women are like,
you know,
I literally hate men.
I think they're
I
kind of
wouldn't date a
adorable
man
for someone
if,
as young as she.
yeah, no, that's it. I just wouldn't date a man. It's like, okay, so you're lesbian. That's cool. You could be lesbian, but you don't have to hate men for it.
So you're a
Like,
lesbian.
just
I
because there's
need to make
one
that a drop.
bad
Hang on,
seed,
hang
yeah,
on.
no, that's it. I just wouldn't date a man. It's like, okay, so you're lesbian.
Okay, so hang on. I'm gonna make that a.
Date a man if, yeah, no, that's it. I just wouldn't date a man. It's like, okay, so you're lesbian. That's
Damn
cool.
it!
You
I
could be
fucked it up.
lesbian, but you don't have.
Hang on. Okay, fuck it. I'll have to do it later. I'm gonna try to make that an audio drop for the show here.
That's it. I just wouldn't date a man. It's like, okay, so you're lesbian. That's cool. You could be lesbian, but you don't have to hate men for it. Like, just because there's one bad seed, one bad apple, I should say, out of a bunch, doesn't make all the apples bad.
I mean, it kind of does to
just
some
because
degree.
There's been,
I mean,
like,
look, feminists would argue that we have to
men
should police other men. That's not the way men work.
That doesn't mean all of them aren't. The guy that I'm dating, he wouldn't do that by any means. And that's just the type of people.
Oh my god, Sanglit. Okay, so we're gonna stop this right there. Because Sanglit86 just triggered me going into the future here. We're gonna go into the future to the next article. Thank you, Sanglit, because check this out. From the New York Post. How to find out if a woman is a psychopath. There is one obvious tell, experts say. Want to know the difference between a woman with a not so great personality and a complete psychopath? New research reveals that ladies have one obvious tell to separate the sometimes sour sweeties from the seriously psycho: whether they move their heads when they talk. Cookie. Oh, Lord. Nonverbal behaviors, i.e. head dynamics, represent an important yet understudied form of communication that may enhance our ability to detect certain forms of psychopathology, including psychopathy, said authors from the University of New Mexico. Using an automated detection algorithm, the research team determined that women who hold their heads perfectly still or with minimal movement while in conversation possess high levels of psychopathic propensities. Here, we utilized an automated technique to detect, extract, and analyze head position and dynamics in relation to psychopathic traits in a sample of incarcerated women, said scientists. Research. Okay. For their findings, analysts addressed the nonverbal tendencies of 213 female inmates, age ranged from 21 to 57, and were detained at a medium and maximum security correctional facility in the U.S. Researchers defined psychopathic traits as a combination of interpersonal dysfunction, such as manipulation, pathological lying, callousness, lack of remorse, impulsivity, irresponsibility, and criminal versatility. Investigators observed video-recorded interviews of each gal. The head position was extracted frame by frame from the interviews. Average head position was calculated using spatial information. Okay, I think we get where they're going here. Folk earning a score of 30 or higher are considered psychopathic. Clive Boddy, an Anglia Ruskin University professor who specializes in corporate psychopathy, recently suggested that female psychopaths likely go unnoticed due to societal gender bias. Julie Shermer, a professional psychology at Western University in London, Ontario, posits that men are often simply more overtly nutty. Oh, come on. We know. We're just the reason is we've come to accept that all women have a little bit of craziness, so the really crazy ones fly under the radar. That's really what it is. Okay, let's go back to this young lady here and watch the last minute of this. Minute and a half.
It's a very low bar.
Or 2 minutes.
So can we stop hating on men? Like, there are men. They are so cute and cuddly and amazing. Men
Obviously,
are amazing creatures.
Obviously, this
so
woman has not been
strong and
traumatized
brave
by
and
a bad
smart,
relationship yet.
and we're hating on them. It's really, it's sad. It's kind of tearing me up. It's like,
This is very
you hate
wholesome.
them so much, but you're so much of a man because you want to be so strong. So do you hate yourself, therefore? Because you act like a man and you hate men?
No, that's why they hate men. They want to compete with them.
It's getting unbelievably stupid. And, these are the same women.
Ah, to be so young and innocent. Let's move on. So, how much recycling is too much recycling? Are you folks fans of recycling? I'm a big fan of recycling. So, when this young woman was talking to her husband about how he obtained their wedding ring,
my husband just told me that my engagement ring is the same one that he bought for his ex-fiance. And I don't even know what to do right now. I came home and I was talking about how much I love this ring. Now, I do. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And he was like, oh yeah, Erica loved it too. And I was
I have to find this man. I have to find this man and give him this crown because he is now the king. Cookie, I see you're in the chat. Shut up, I can cook. I see you in the chat. I need your opinion on this. Is this lady wrong to be disturbed at a recycled engagement ring?
was like, Erica, the other girl you're going to marry, like you guys were engaged for a whole year? And he goes, yeah, it's the same ring that I gave to her. What? Like,
okay, Cookie says, now wait a minute, you cannot give me a ring you gave to another woman. Okay, now hold that thought.
I don't even know how to feel right now.
She doesn't know how to feel.
He didn't even pick it out for me.
Okay.
He had it. He went with her to go pick it out, had it custom made for her.
Oh.
I don't know what to do. I don't know. I love it. It's beautiful. But it's not my ring.
Okay, but what about recycling diamonds, Sanglant? Can you recycle diamonds? That's what we're trying to find out here.
I mean, and it's not the one that I was going to pick out. There's one that I wanted, and he said it was too expensive. Do I just, I don't know. Should I just ask him to get that one instead?
Okay, at this point in time, he already proposed, you already got married, you've already been wearing it. At this point in time, trying to somehow go back in time and just, I have a different engagement ring now. To me, that seems dumb. But let's continue.
I mean, it's like 10 carats, but it's the one that I wanted.
10 carats.
I don't know what to do. Ugh, he's coming out here to talk to me. I gotta go.
What the Temple's game music? I don't think she's that ugly, but okay. There's a follow up to that. There was a follow up. Let's see what the follow up was.
Saying that I'm being like super dramatic and it's not a big deal at all, and it's just a ring. It doesn't matter if he gave it to another girl before me. He got it back and gave it to me, and
Hang on.
you know, I'm the one that
She's
he's
about to
with
talk about that.
now. I don't even know what to do. Like, I'm so, I don't know. So yeah, she couldn't find exactly what she wanted, and so he went and took her to like a custom jeweler, and she had all the photos that she wanted. She picked out the exact rocks, everything.
She picked out the stones, dude.
I just feel like it's not unreasonable for me to want the one that I wanted. Like, is it really that unreasonable? Friends, this is the ring that I wanted, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this ring. It's really
okay, so here we go. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this ring. It's really pretty. So let's remember that.
Pretty. She has good taste, but I just think, like, is it really that unreasonable to want the ring that I want and get it?
She's got a big chin and a big nose, but
yeah, she couldn't find exactly what she wanted. He's saying that the ring is so expensive. Like, when he bought it for her, he says that it's super, super expensive, and
he would only get back like
20% of what he put into it. So he doesn't want me to sell it. He wants me to keep it, and just like get over it, basically. He's saying that
okay, so there's that. Now, here's my thoughts. Now, I'm cheap, so your results may vary. Like, for one, I'm also smart enough to know never, ever tell a woman information like this. Like, just don't do it. But at the same time, I just saw this other video go viral of a woman crying because her man left her after she revealed her true body count after initially telling her man that she only had 3 bodies and had over 160. Never mild. Never what? Never do this? Well, to some degree. Now, I'm saying this might need to be normalized because again, let's go back to the analogy I just made about body count. This woman, was she I mean, we don't have enough information to know. Was she a virgin? Did she give her ring, her ring, her fleshy ring? Did she give her ring to another man's digit before? Like if she can't slip a piece of metal over her finger that has been over another finger before, like, why should he be expected to stick her fleshy hole that's been over another man over himself? Something to think about, right? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Never reveal that info to a woman, and also never tell a man how many men you've slept with. I mean, no, sir, please stop. Okay. All right. Let me see. We've got a few other things, but you know what? We're running out of time. I'm just going to quickly bring this up. This is from Unlimited L's real quick. I probably should have saved this for Transgender Crazy of the Week on Wednesday, which, by the way, yeah, we'll be doing Wednesday. At the end of my last show, I was so drunk that I said, I'll see you guys Wednesday. And it was Wednesday, and today's Saturday. So anyway, I felt stupid. But anyway, so here we go. We got a transgender running over a 64-year-old man twice before kissing and then stabbing him 9 times. Blam. Cookie's like, yeah, Lord Mild was drunk. Yeah, I was so drunk I didn't realize what day of the week it was. And okay, one last bit of news is Trump confirms Nikki Haley will not be his vice presidential nominee. Thank God. Thank God. Nikki Haley is officially done. Sangling 86, very few men can afford to give away an engagement ring after getting shot down. It's a Hollywood thing. Yeah. And my point is, the woman said it was still an awesome ring, right? And she's already been proposed with it. Like, you've recycled the memory. You've made your own memories with the ring. Like, you can't go back and make those same memories with a second ring now. Anyway, so we're going to do Love Does Admonish. It's time for Love Does Admonish. And we're running really low on time, so I'm probably going to just roll with it here. We got I'm Marrying a Prisoner, Love Don't Judge.
Bridget. She fell in love with Tommy.
He just makes me feel like the most beautiful and loved girl
Can
in
you
the
guys
world.
hear that?
The first
It sounds
time the
quiet.
couple met, Tommy was already serving time in prison. And they have never been together on the outside.
We're going to be getting married once he's out. So today
That
we're
help
going
with the
wedding
audio?
dress shopping.
But while the couple are looking forward to tying the knot, their union has dredged up painful memories for Bridget.
I come from the Irish travelling
assuming- yeah,
community.
you meant
My
the
first
last
marriage
woman.
was when I was 16 years old. It was an arranged marriage. They didn't treat me well whatsoever.
Okay,
As an
so she
Irish
was in an
traveller,
arranged
Bridget
marriage.
is strictly forbidden from remarrying, and there are now some in the community
Wait,
who
what?
are determined to put a stop to her new love.
A lot of the travelling community are like saying lots of bad stuff about me. Tommy's been getting
What?
sent letters into
I'm
prison
confused.
saying you can't trust Bridgie. She's dirty. I'm in love, so I'm not committing any crimes.
What the fuck?
I love you so much. Them words are true. Listen, there's going to be some dark days to come, but I'm pretty sure that the special thing we got that drew us together and gives us them mad heartache feelings is not breakable. I know you love me, and I'm damn sure I do you. Don't worry what anyone else have to say. So that's just
What
half
is this,
the
a prison
dress.
pen pal app?
My name is Bridget, and my fiance Tommy is in prison. Tommy and I met through my cousin. He was my cousin's cellmate in prison.
Her
Before Tommy
cousin's
went to jail,
cellmate.
he was following me on TikTok, and I didn't know he was messaging me because I wasn't following him back. So unfortunately, he went to prison, and he met my cousin.
And these are probably the same kind of women who want to call Trump Orange Man. Look at the amount of makeup and spray tan on this woman's face. Hey, thank you for the reminder, Cookie. I'll be sure to fucking do that.
Cousin in prison, and he was telling my cousin, I know this girl, her name is Bridgie, blah blah blah, and he was like, that's my cousin, like what the is going on? And then my cousin rang me and was like, oh, this fella knows you, you should start talking to him, give
This
him a
fella
chance.
knows
So he
you.
called
Did you
me
see
first,
the?
and
Did you see the
he was
closed
like,
captioning?
just trying to be like a big hard man on the phone, because I said to my cousin when my cousin rang me, I said, as long as he can fight, I'll have him, but I was joking around, but my cousin must took me seriously, so he was pretending to be like this big hard man on the phone to me. We laugh about it now. We just totally clicked. He's really, really funny. Yeah, he's a comedian. He's always laughing. We were talking for
Again.
about 2 weeks. And then I went
So remember, Cookie, what I was saying earlier about felons.
to go and see him. This is the first train ticket when I went to go and see him. That was the 11th of November, 2021. I was so nervous, like so. It was the first time I was ever in a prison before. And when I came in, my hands was proper shaking. And then I seen him. I was like, okay, like he's really good looking. And then he hugged me and he kissed me, and the connection we felt was just mad. Like nothing like I've ever felt before in my life. I'm allowed to visit Tommy 3 times a month. This is a card that he sent me. That was the first card. They're just letters from him. It just feels like I'm in a movie, like I'm in a love story, like The Notebook or something with the letters.
A
No one
notebook.
gets letters anymore, did he?
She
Like it's not a
thinks
good
she's
thing. It's
in the
come from prison, but
Notebook.
still. He just makes me feel like the most
Got Tim Pool's
beautiful
gay
and loved
music
girl in the
being
world.
a
And obviously
spelling
people
teacher.
get skeptical because he's in jail, but actually not every person in jail is bad people. My friends and family were like skeptical about it, saying like he'd always be in prison and I'm gonna be like
Always
a
be
jail
in
wife
prison.
for the rest of the
What's he in
relationship.
for?
Friends that I thought was friends have just like dropped away and don't really get involved with me anymore over it. So today my best friend Gemma's coming over. We're going to see what she really thinks from when I told her in the beginning.
Uh-oh.
I've known Bridget for 4 years, and when Bridget told me about Tommy, I was worried about the fact that he's
Damn.
a criminal. I was
Another
shocked
linebacker.
at first. I was shocked when he told me,
I know.
because I just want the best for you, you know, I care about you. I just wondered how he's going to
She
treat
could
you when he gets
clothesline
outside.
a
I
Pro
started
Bowl
changing
running
my
back.
mind about Tommy when I saw he was writing all her love letters. He was literally drawing all pictures of her and him together.
I think Sanglant's spell check is also Soviet.
Now I've seen the way that he treats her, it's made me happy. And if my friend's happy, then I feel happy. And he rings her every hour of the day, and it's so cute.
I speak to Tommy every day, all through the day.
Every day.
He spends like £60 a week on credit to talk to me. I
What?
thought you were going to ring me later.
Just what ring you, are you getting on?
I'm going to look at wedding dresses later. Me and Gemma.
Wedding dresses?
Yeah. I wanted a black wedding dress.
A black wedding dress.
I really do want a black wedding dress.
Now this
I don't
chick
want you
would
to
take a
talk about
I
recycled
want
wedding
a
ring,
massive
probably.
black wedding dress.
It's not a funeral, it's a wedding.
I want to look like
I
a
bet this
big
chick
crow.
would take an engagement ring
Alright.
from the O-ring
No,
in
I'm
his
having a white wedding
cellmate's
dress.
toilet.
Okay. Tommy proposed to me on a prison visit in front of like about 80 people. And afterwards, everyone was like clapping in there. And I was like, oh my God. So Tommy's due to be released next year. And
Oh, dude,
I'm
be
literally
released
counting down
next
the days.
year.
Like, I just can't wait just to have a normal life sitting on a sofa watching Netflix. I never in my life dreamt of being in a prison relationship. I have cousins that's
What's he in
married to
for?
guys that's in jail. And they'd be like saying, like, you're wasting your life, you're ruining your life, like, you're a young girl, you have your whole life ahead of you. I was a bit judgy on it. I think that's why I'm getting calmer. So I come from the Irish travelling community. It's a very strict
Irish
upbringing, especially
travelling
on the
community.
girls. We're kind of kept away from the outside world. The majority of them get married young and they're only allowed to ever be with one man. So my first marriage was when I was 16 years old. It was an arranged marriage. They didn't treat me well whatsoever. My community disagrees with my relationship because Tommy is the second relationship I've ever been in, and travelling women are only allowed to be with one man. And even if that man is like a bad man, they made their bed, so
Okay.
they have to lie in it.
But you don't
A
appear
lot
to
of
be
the travelling
traveling
community are
now.
like saying
You
lots of
appear to
bad
have
stuff
an
about me,
apartment.
saying like she's dirty, and Tommy's been getting sent letters into prison, anonymous letters they've been sending him saying you can't trust Bridgie and stuff like that. But they just can't break us, it's just making us stronger every time. I'm not in a relationship with the community. I'm in love, so I'm not committing any crimes. So today we're going wedding dress shopping, and now I can't
it's
wait.
murder, I doubt
wanna
he's
have a
getting out
black
next
wedding
year.
dress for spite.
Oh, it's freezing outside. Oh, it's so cold.
And to be honest, if it's
Hiya,
tax evasion, I say go
welcome.
girl.
What's your name?
Thank you. My name's Bridget. What's your name?
Bridget Maisie.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
Maisie.
you. And what kind of dress style are you looking for?
I'm not too sure yet. I was looking for like a black dress. I do want a black wedding dress, but
Some dresses can be made in black.
God, even
Yeah.
this skinny girl looks like a football player.
And who's the lucky man?
his name is Tommy. He's currently in prison at the moment, so I'm just waiting for him to be released next year.
Okay, cool.
So yeah,
Amazing.
exciting.
So
So again, I know none of these chicks are redheads, but this chick here, the wedding dress saleswoman. Now remember what I said about redheads and Irish women. So she's obviously Irish. She's got that square jaw,
we'll
man.
just get started then.
Yeah, definitely. The dress literally has to be perfect. This one is a bit of me.
Are you looking for sort of a big, puffy A-line dress?
Yeah.
They've just brought this out in black.
Yeah, we'll give it a go.
This one
And the other two.
They got it
Yeah.
in black. Here we go. Oh wait,
Oh
tried
my
it
God,
on in
I
white.
love it. It looks so nice.
Oh, I love it.
I love the silk as well.
So nice, isn't it?
I
Let me
do
look in the
love
very
mirror.
goofy cookie.
Do you feel it?
I feel like a prin.
A
Feel like a
prin print? What the
princess.
fuck's
Yeah.
a prin
Tommy's
print?
gonna
Oh,
love you in
princess.
it.
I know. You better do.
It was really lovely today because it was a better experience than being 16 in a wedding dress. I feel better being a woman and I can choose my own wedding dress. It looks absolutely gorgeous. My favourite dress was the first dress. I love the plunge neckline and the pearls it had on the front. I wanted like a traditional wedding. I'm very like traditional
Well,
person.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like in a
A
normal,
man who's
like,
been in
traveller's
jail
wedding
for
could
multiple
be, like,
years is
500
definitely
to
gonna like the
2,000 people.
cleavage on this
Traveller's weddings
dress.
would be very expensive though. So there's like a lot of family that wouldn't be at the wedding because some of them will
milk
find it
truck
hard to
will
accept
arrive.
me having a second marriage, but I don't really care. I don't actually like them. They've never have supported me, so I couldn't care less if they show up or not. I think I look like Beyonce, but I was never allowed to be myself growing up, and like I always had to pretend to be something I wasn't. So I'm excited to actually be marrying someone I love that actually loves me for who I am. Love is not judgmental. Love is kind, and that's how Tommy makes me feel. So for people that's like been judging me and Tommy's relationship, sit back and watch season 2's coming. I don't even like love stories on the TV, but since him I do.
Okay, so that's Love Does Admonish. Look, say what you will about gypsies. Obviously, we had the young lady earlier who had never had any kind of relationship trauma, and this woman, being from a gypsy community and married away at age 16, probably to an adult man, has obviously had some relationship trauma and has now found a guy who may considerably think of her in better terms, but she hasn't actually physically had the relationship. And so this all seems, God, what's the word? This seems impulsive to some degree. Somebody says some nice words to you over the internet. Singling 86 says, stainless steel pot, recreate the best episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Black Hands one. And then Shut Up I Can Cook says, men are very cute and wonderful, but no jailbirds ladies. Ladies love the jailbirds. Ladies love the exciting men. All right, folks, that's going to be the show for today. I definitely wish her well if she goes through with it. I definitely hope the man has repented for whatever he's done to land him in prison, and that he goes on to be an honorable and providing partner for her. But doubt it. Again, she's probably better off moving to the woods with the bear. On that note, folks, follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description of this video on Rumble or YouTube. Click that like button. Please hit that like button as it says down below. Please hit that like button. Help me out in those algorithms. And catch me this Wednesday and every Wednesday and Saturday at 6 p.m. Central Time. At 6 p.m. Central Time. So basically right now, like an hour ago, every Wednesday and Saturday right here wherever you're watching me now. Big thank you to Sanglant, to Cookie, to Tim Pool's Game Music. See who else was in the chat. Was that it? I felt like I did more drinking than that. I'm drunk. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not drunk. All right. Once again, thank you for stopping by. And anybody else who might be watching this on demand. Tim Pool's Game Music says, smash that like button, you bigots. Yes, so anyone else watching me on demand or watching me and not joining the chat, thank you to you for showing up as well. We always love having you here. I'll catch you next time. Take care of yourselves. Oh, hey, we got Cool Frog. Oh, now that I've drank all my whiskey, you know what? Cool Frog, just for you, my man. I'll pour another sip. Even though I got to go to dinner with my lady. She's going to drive. We're going to do it Joe Neerman style. Cheers, Cool Frog. Good seeing you, man. All right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast those haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I'll see you next time on Miles Culture Plate. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Good night.